Hello, welcome to Reading Success Academy. I'm Paula Smith. Today we're going to work on some second grade spelling words with long A. There are 3 different spellings of long A that we're going to work on. There's actually like 8 different ways to spell the long A sound, but we're just going to work on 3 today. So if you'd like to follow along, you can grab a piece of paper, a pencil, and 3 colored pencils so that we can highlight the different spellings of long A. Let's take a look at those. All right, so what I have for you here are the 3 different spellings of long A that we're going to work on. You'll put 3 columns across the top of your paper. You're going to have E-I-G-H, E-A, and E-I. And if you'd like, you can highlight those with a different color for each of those. And I'll show you how that's really going to help you with your spelling here in just a moment. So you can set that up. And if you need more time, you can always go back and watch the recording of this. All right, our first word with the long A sound is 8. So we have 4 letters all working together to make that long A sound. The word has 5 letters altogether because we just have 1 consonant to finish it off. We have A, T, just 2 sounds in this word, A and T. Now we're going to use a multi-sensory approach here. We're going to be using our sense of touch, our sight, and our hearing in order to work together to learn the information faster and hold on to it longer. Our brain just works better that way when we can use as many senses as possible to do that. So we're going to say that long A sound while we write all 4 of these letters. So we're going to start out, I picked red for that E-I-G-H, so I'll grab my red. And I'm going to say each sound as we go, but I'm going to hold that long A sound the whole time I write all 4 of those. So take a big deep breath. Here we go. A. And then we'll switch to a pencil. Oops. T. 8. And I'm actually going to go back and underline my long A spelling right there. All right. Let's move on to our next word. Now we have reindeer. So the long A sound in reindeer is spelled with E-I. So that's going to go in our E-I column over here. Now reindeer has 2 chunks. A chunk is part of a word that has 1 vowel sound in it. So since there are 2 vowel sounds in this word, there are 2 chunks. So there's a long A sound right here, and there's a long E sound right here. Those are your 2 vowel sounds. So we're going to just spell 1 chunk at a time. We're not going to try and do the whole thing all at once. That would be kind of crazy. We're not going to do that. So let's do rain first. Use your regular pencil. Oh, we need to go in the right column. Listen for each sound as we go. We have, in rain, we have R. Switch to the color that you chose for E-I. A. Underline both of those letters. Isn't it crazy that we have the long A sound, but we don't even have a letter A in it? Same thing with this one over here. All right, moving on. What's the last sound in the chunk rain? N, N. So let's write that one in. N. And I'm going to put a little I stopper right here just to show that that's the end of that chunk. And it breaks it up a little bit for our eyes so that we're not trying to take in the whole spelling all at once. All right, I'm going to have to start writing really small here to fit this in. Okay, we're going to do deer next. And in reindeer, the 2 E's work together for that long E sound. So when we get to that sound, we're going to make sure that we hold that sound while we write both of those letters. Okay, let's hop on over here. And we're going to say D. Ear, D, ear, deer. And then I'm also going to group those 2 letters together. Let's see if I can make this a smaller, thinner line here. There we go. Group those 2 E's together. Whenever you have something marked up in your word, it just draws your eyes to it so you remember that there's something special about it. So we need to remember there's 2 E's in this one. So 2 E's here, and we have E-I here. This is our target sound. I always underline the target sound that we're working on for the day. So there's reindeer. So 1 chunk at a time is how we spell those. All right, let's move on to our next word. I probably ought to move some of this stuff off though. That way we don't have that following us around as we move through the rest of these slides. I need a bigger eraser. Okay, now we have the word greater. Again, we have a two-chunk word, two vowel sounds in it. There's the long A sound right here, spelled with EA, and we also have an right here at the end. Okay, so I'm going to grab that yellow again and just kind of circle that so you can see it. So the two chunks in greater are great and So when we spell this one, we're going to start out with your regular pencil. I'm going to move down here a little bit because I think my words are going to run together. Okay, we have great, G, R. Switch to your color for your EA. A. Underline that long A sound. And switch back to your pencil. T. Great. Now you can put an eye stopper in here, and if you'd like, you can make your eye stopper a different color. You don't have to, but you can if you like. Makes it more colorful, a little bit more fun. All right, so we have great, and then we have for our last chunk. Holding that sound while we write both of those. And again, we're going to group those two letters together. Just a reminder that there's something special at the end here we need to remember. It's not just the EA making the long A sound, but we also need to remember that there's two letters to make at the end. Now, when you're studying these two chunk words, since we have those eye stoppers between the chunks, you can just focus on one chunk of the word at a time. All right. I'm going to clean this up, and we'll go off to our next word. Now we have break. We are not going to take a break. We're going to keep working here. This one's going to go in our EA column, and it's just one chunk. So this one's going to be pretty quick to get through. Let's grab your pencil, and we're going to say each sound as we go in break. B, R, A. Hold that sound while you write both of them. What's your last sound in break? K, k, k. That's it. Break. Now, you probably noticed that I didn't say burr while I was writing this consonant blend. We blend when we're reading. When you're spelling, we need to pull those sounds apart, and that's called segmenting. So when you have something that has a lot of parts and you pull them into each part, pull them away from each other, that's segmenting. So that's why I said b-er. Now I'm going to show you what happens if you don't do that. If you are thinking burr instead of b-er, when you write this word, you might do this. You might do burr, a, k, break. Do you see what happened? Since I said burr while I was writing this, I didn't have a sound to clue me in to put an R right there. So don't fall into that trap. Don't want to make blends when you're spelling. We only blend when we're reading, not when you're spelling. All right, shall we do another one? Let's keep going. Okay, now we have a word that has two sounds, but we have 5 letters. The sounds in way are w, a, way. That's it. 5 letters just for that. Crazy, isn't it? All right, well, we're going to go ahead and throw that in our E-I-G-H column. All 4 of those letters make that long A sound. And I'm going to grab the pencil first. And we're going to say W. And then switch over. Take a big deep breath because we're going to be holding that A sound for a while, all the way to the end of this group of letters. Here we go. A, way. Very good. All right, and when you weigh yourself, when you get on that scale, you're going to find out your weight. So if you just add t, then you have a whole new word. All right, I think that is plenty for today. I have a list of 15 spelling words for this lesson. So if you're interested in that list and the worksheets that go with them, make sure you send me an email. Send it to hello@readingsuccessacademy.com. I'll be happy to send those your way. And if you have questions about any of the spelling lessons that I do, happy to help with that as well. All right, I will see you tomorrow.